Breaking news just dropped in the Nancy Guthrie case. And I need you to stop whatever you are doing and watch this video right now. A body has been found in a Phoenix canal. The sheriff's department has already responded. And in the last 6 hours alone, 4 major news outlets have published new developments in this case, including Today.com, USA Today, the AP, and The Hill. This case is moving fast, very fast. And if you have been following along, you know that every single update brings us closer to the truth. So let me break down everything that happened today, step by step, because there is a lot to unpack. I'm talking about a body in a canal. I'm talking about a Wi-Fi jammer that may have disabled every camera in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood. And I am talking about a former FBI agent who just dropped a bombshell statement about who the suspect really is. Stay with me. This is going to be important. For those of you just finding this channel, let me give you the full picture. Nancy Guthrie is 84 years old. She is the mother of Savannah Guthrie, co-anchor of the Today Show on NBC, one of the most watched morning programs in the United States. Nancy disappeared from her home in Tucson, Arizona, on the night of February 1st, 2026. That is 34 days ago. 34 days with no confirmed answers. 34 days of searching. 34 days of heartbreak for her family. Here is what we know about the night she vanished. Her pacemaker, the medical device implanted in her chest to regulate her heartbeat, sent its last signal at 2:36 in the morning on February 1st. That is the last electronic trace of Nancy Guthrie. A doorbell camera in her neighborhood captured a masked suspect that same night. The suspect was wearing a ski mask, carrying an Ozark Trail backpack from Walmart, wearing a gun holster. And there was a device in his jacket pocket that looked like an antenna. DNA evidence from gloves found at the scene was tested, and it came back as a dead end. It matched a restaurant employee, not connected to the case. Since then, a task force of 5 homicide detectives and multiple FBI agents has been working full-time on this investigation. The family posted a $1 million reward. The FBI added $100,000 on top of that. $1.1 million for information leading to Nancy Guthrie's safe return. And yet, 34 days later, she is still missing. Now, let's talk about what happened today. Because this is the development that has the entire country talking right now. A body was found in a canal in the Phoenix area. Phoenix, Arizona, approximately 100 miles from Tucson, where Nancy Guthrie disappeared. The moment this news broke, the internet erupted. Social media was flooded with one question. Is this Nancy Guthrie? The sheriff's department responded quickly. And here is what they said. The body found in the Phoenix Canal has not been connected to the Nancy Guthrie case. Now, I want you to listen carefully to the exact language being used here. They did not say it is not Nancy Guthrie. They said it has not been connected to the case. That is a very different statement. What that means is identification is still ongoing. It means investigators are still processing the discovery, still running tests, still comparing evidence. In missing persons cases, especially cases involving elderly individuals, identification can take anywhere from hours to days, depending on the condition of the remains and the methods available to investigators. So while authorities have not confirmed a connection, they have also not ruled one out. And the location matters enormously here. The canal system in Arizona is vast, stretching across Maricopa County, Pima County, and beyond. Water moves, evidence moves, and investigators know this better than anyone. The fact that law enforcement responded so quickly and issued a public statement so fast tells us they are taking this seriously. This is not being dismissed. Now, while this breaking news was developing today, another massive story dropped at the same time. Today.com, the official website of the NBC Today Show, Savannah Guthrie's own network, published a new investigation with this headline. New questions swirl about Wi-Fi jammer in the Nancy Guthrie case. Let that sink in for a moment. Savannah Guthrie's own network is now reporting on a Wi-Fi jammer potentially being used the night her mother disappeared. So what exactly is a Wi-Fi jammer? A Wi-Fi jammer is an electronic device that broadcasts interference signals on the same frequencies used by wireless networks. When activated, it disables every Wi-Fi connected device within its range. Security cameras, Ring doorbells, smart locks, baby monitors, all of it gone. Professional-grade jammers can cover an entire city block in seconds. And here is what the FBI found when they went door to door in Nancy Guthrie's Tucson neighborhood. They asked every single neighbor one very specific question. Did your internet go down the night Nancy Guthrie disappeared? Multiple neighbors said yes. One neighbor's Ring camera, which had been recording normally for weeks, shows no footage from that specific night. The file is simply marked as not available. Now look at the doorbell camera image of the masked suspect. There is a device in his jacket pocket. It has what appears to be an antenna. Security experts who have reviewed the footage say the device is consistent with a portable Wi-Fi jamming unit. If that is confirmed, think about what that means for this case. This was not a random act of opportunity. This suspect did not walk by and decide on the spot to take Nancy Guthrie. This was planned in advance. The suspect researched the neighborhood, identified the cameras, acquired a jamming device, disabled the entire network, and then moved in, knowing there would be no electronic record of what happened next. That level of planning points to one thing. This person knew what they were doing, and they may have done it before. And then there is the statement that stopped everyone in their tracks today. A former FBI agent, someone with decades of experience investigating kidnappings, homicides, and missing persons cases, spoke publicly about the Nancy Guthrie investigation. And what he said was not what anyone expected. He said the public will be underwhelmed when the Nancy Guthrie suspect is caught. Underwhelmed, not shocked, not terrified, underwhelmed. Now, what does that mean exactly? In law enforcement language, when an experienced investigator says the public will be underwhelmed by a suspect, it typically means one of several things. It could mean the suspect is not a stranger. It could mean the suspect is someone in Nancy Guthrie's orbit, a neighbor, an acquaintance, someone familiar. It could mean there is no dramatic criminal background, no prior record that would make headlines. Or, and this is perhaps the most disturbing possibility, it could mean the motive is something far more personal than anyone has publicly suggested. Think about the Wi-Fi jammer. That is not something a random stranger buys on impulse. That is a deliberate, targeted purchase made specifically for this operation. Combined with the former FBI agent's statement, the picture that emerges is deeply unsettling. Someone who knew Nancy Guthrie, or knew her routines, or had a reason to want her gone, and had the knowledge and resources to make sure no camera would ever record it. There is one more story published today that I think deserves our attention. Both The Hill and the Associated Press published pieces today about something that goes beyond the investigation itself, the psychological trauma experienced by families of missing persons. The AP described it as ambiguous loss, a term used by grief counselors and psychologists to describe the unique anguish of not knowing. When someone dies, there is grief, there is pain, but there is also closure. When someone disappears, there is no closure. There is only waiting. Every day that passes without answers is another day the family lives in a state of suspended grief. Savannah Guthrie has continued appearing on the Today Show throughout her mother's disappearance. The strength it requires is something most of us cannot fully comprehend. And it is a reminder that behind every case update, behind every piece of evidence and every new development, there is a family, a real family, waiting for answers. So here is where we stand tonight. A body has been found in a Phoenix canal, not yet connected to the case, but not ruled out either. The FBI is actively investigating evidence that a professional Wi-Fi jammer was used to disable every camera in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood the night she vanished. A former FBI agent says the suspect will surprise the public, suggesting someone closer than we think. And the sheriff has said, on record, that investigators are definitely closer than they have ever been. Something is about to break in this case. The next 24 to 48 hours could be the most significant yet in the search for Nancy Guthrie. We will be here. the moment anything happens, with a full breakdown and analysis. If you are not subscribed yet, do it right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because the next update may be the one that changes everything. For Evidence HQ, stay informed, stay vigilant, and we will see you in the next update.